Hey, Ross World, my money makes money. Watch the news. Like, that's a very simple thing to ask somebody, right? And you're probably asking, first of all, why should I watch the news? And some of you probably already watch the news. Then you may ask which channel to watch the news from, whether it be MSNBC, CNN, Fox, HLN, so on and so forth, right? So the news tells you exactly what the stock market is going to do. So when the SEC sued Elon Musk, or are suing Elon Musk, and they want to remove him as the chair from Tesla. Now, granted, I believe he moved himself from the chair, but he's still the CEO. I may have that backwards. I think he's still a CEO, but they remove him as a chair. And you're like, wow, this is all important because, first of all, I invested in Tesla. So my stock was up to about $300. And then when this lawsuit came out, I sold it, right? Now, I think I looked on my stock twits, you know, the news that everybody can go blog about stocks. I want to say someone said that it dropped to 130. So here's the thing. Will I invest in Tesla again? Sure, I will, because it's a solid company. But here's the thing. That stock is probably only worth $130 without Elon Musk, because he's an innovator, he's an inventor, and you know his role model, the person who inspired him, is Nikola Tesla. Okay, and that's why the company is named after Nikola Tesla, or Nikola, or Nicolo, however, right? I'm not perfect when it comes to pronouncing people's names, but nonetheless, you have to watch the news in order to know how your stocks are going to perform. When Donald Trump put out that he's going to impose tariffs on the Chinese, you know, that export tax mainly, but it's also import tax as well. What happened to the Chinese stocks? Now, I don't know if you guys invest in Chinese stocks, but I made quite a, few $100s from those Chinese stocks. And I tell you why. I invested in a stock called Huya, that's Huya. I bought it when it was around $13 or $15. Now it's up to $27. So if you're buying it now, then maybe you lost a little bit of money. What about BSun? Okay, another Chinese stock, and also IQ. I bought that around $15, and it's teetering around $25. So the point of this I'm getting at is, if you're not watching the news, either for see what's going on in the world or your local community, watch it to understand how your stocks are going to perform. And if you're a day trader, this is a very important information for you, because you're going to sell those stocks before the stock market has time to respond. And the stock market usually responds either the same day or the very next day, or even in the aftermarkets, things begin to fall. And that's why I invest with Robinhood, because now they have upgraded their platform and their trading place, and now you can trade in aftermarkets and also in the pre-market. So you really have to be very cognizant of when you buy certain stocks. Now, I tell people, if you're not stock savvy, if you're not into the stock world, the financial world, but you still want some sort of solidified financial investments, then you invest in ETFs, those exchange traded funds, as well as index funds, also bonds. Now, I always talk about Vanguard, but we know we also have SPDRs. Also, we have iShares by the BlackRock Group. But you can go over to Stash, which is another investment app that will have bundles of funds for you to invest in, just $5 or more. But you can go on Robinhood, which is the commission price is totally free, and buy the entire ETF on index funds. Am I a spokesperson for these guys? No. I'm just trying to give you the information so you can invest a little bit. And here's another thing. For you women and men out there who have kids, who you are planning for them to go to college or even a trade school, have you ever thought about a 529 college plan? That's another investment option, but it helps secure funds for your children, your teenagers, before they can go off to college and help that college fund. Whether they didn't get a scholarship or anything like that. Like my son, he's in college in North Carolina, and we're not paying anything. Okay, so you have to be very cognizant of watching the news. And granted, some news when it comes to different stories are biased, right? We know that CNN is mostly Democrats, right? We know Fox is mostly Republicans, and we know that MSNBC are your independents, right? They don't sway, they kind of sway Democratic, but they say they're independents. So when it comes to regular news stories, those are the things that you need to be cognizant of. But when it comes to money, everybody is reporting the same money. Everybody. So if you're not watching the news, I encourage you to watch the news and look at the stories that are coming across the news. And if it has something to do with the federal government imposing anything on another country or even on the citizens, know that it would affect a stock or stocks. And if you're a day trader, then you may want to sell it, wait till it drops, then buy, and then buy double the amount than what you sold it for, right? So if a stock, just for example, is $300 like Tesla was, and you sell it at 150, and it drop, it drops to 150, then you sell it at 150, and then you buy double back. You made a profit. So all this should mean something. If you're not watching the news, either for some people watch it for entertainment because a lot of crazy things happen on the news. If you're not watching it to see what's going on in your local environment or even just nationwide news or cable, news, then watch it for your money. Because if you are investing, the news is an analytical tool that's going to help you to predict, okay, some of the volatility that are in stocks based upon the stories that you may hear. Because instantaneously, when Trump came out with those tariffs, the very next day, my Chinese stocks dropped. And I sold a few, and then they started to rise up again, then I bought them back. And then Robinhood tried to flag me for being a day trader, so I stopped. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold on to them. And now the Chinese and America supposedly have these talks about, lifting whatever. And here's another one, NAFTA, okay? He was talking about rearranging the NAFTA deal. The NAFTA deal has to mainly do with all sorts of jobs, okay? Millions of jobs with Mexico and Canada and produce and food and whatever. It's all these other things. The thing, when he started to talk about reconstructing the NAFTA deal, and he was going to leave Canada out of the deal, let me tell you, I have those cannabis stocks in, from Canada. You have Tilray, you have Aurora Canopy, and you have Canopy Growth. I'll probably mess one of those up. And so when he started talking about that, those stocks first boomed and then they dropped, especially Tilray. The volatility on Tilray right now is ridiculous. I did a video on this called Tilray. And so you have to be, once again, very cognizant because that NAFTA deal included 2 countries. And if you have diversified stocks like myself, Canada, China, and some other countries, when these things are happening in the world, either be the president or Congress or whatever, they will affect your stocks. So watch the news and watch your stocks. This is Rod's World. Learn money and be inspired. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I'm glad I didn't crash while I was giving you this information. Bye. I'm still on, and I'm trying to close it out.